Hi everyone, I'm back with another video. This is my October wrap up. It's a little late, just a smidgen. I was not here at the end of October. I was in London, well, Watford, at the Harry Potter studio tour for the Dark Arts night on Halloween with the Death Eaters. So, which will explain what I read in October. So yeah, I've read 1, 2, 3, 4, 13 physical books, the rest are digital. Yeah. Let's just get on with it. So I read excuse me. The Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. I started this in September, finished it on the 1st of October. I gave this 4 stars. I think we all know what Harry Potter's about. I don't need to explain this. This one, slow start. Picked up quite quickly though. Adding Quidditch World Cup in was a very good idea. It gave a sense of realism to the Wizarding World, very much like how Muggles have their sports, like football, they have Quidditch. This was where it started to take its darker turn. The characters do become more layered and continue to do so as the story progresses. The books add more depth to the Death Eaters than their film counterparts, especially Barty Crouch Jr. I cosplay a young version of Barty Crouch Jr. His backstory is a very sad and a very tragic one, which is revealed in this. They are children. They are a children's stories villain, of course, but they are a very real threat to this fantasy world. And they are a very good set of villains. I do like the Death Eaters. So then, we continue on. And I read American's Founding Son, John Quincy Adams, by Bob Crawford. This was a NetGalley arc. I gave this 4 stars. There will be a review on this channel for it. So, I'm not going to discuss that here. Then I finally read Bram Stoker's Dracula. I think we all know what this is about. This is I suppose the first vampire story. Which is actually not really about vampires. So, after reading and watching a lot of the modern interpretations of vampires, like Twilight, I've seen clips of Underworld, the vampires that are in Wednesday as well, which you rarely get to see, but they are there. Trying to think of some more vampires. Lost Boys, I haven't seen in its full entirety, but I've seen bits of. Things like that. This was actually a very pleasant surprise and a very refreshing version of the vampires. It didn't actually focus on Count Orlok himself, which is Dracula. It told a more story from the point of view of the victims and the people that met him. It's done in diary format. Like Jonathan Harker, Miss Mina Murray, Miss Lucy Westenra, things like that. It's done in that kind of format. This is the Puffins Classic Edition, by the way, which is a very stiff and pain in the butt to read of a book. This is more macabre. It can be seen as a reflection on Victorian society. And what was the social climate of repression. Sanity is also a huge thing in this as well. Sanity is a huge thing in Gothic fiction as well. Because you've got Dr. Jekyll and Hyde. Yes, it's pronounced Jekyll. It bugs the heck out of me. It looks like Jekyll, but it's pronounced Jekyll, and I don't get why. That's got a lot more, oh my god, it's coming off in my hands. Okay, that's disturbing. It's coming off. Amazing printing, I give it that. That's got more like societal view on sanity and insanity and the like split personality kind of vibe. Picture of Dorian Gray, that's another one. Sanity of self and self-worth. Things like that. I do enjoy these ones. I'm going to put this down because it's legit coming off on my fingers. Then I read, I know this is taking a really weird turn, Still Standing by Paul O'Grady, The Savage Years. So this is about Paul O'Grady's life as Lily Savage. So Lily Savage is his comic creation in a blonde bomb site. So this is about his drag queen personality, and how he brought that to life. So yeah, I gave this 3 stars. Paul O'Grady does know how to tell a story. I have another one of his books which I'll probably get to at some point. He can tell it in a very humorous and entertaining way, but it gets straight to it from right to the beginning. It's more of a serious one than what you would expect from him. It is set in the 80s on the backdrop of the AIDS epidemic. It does become repetitive and it does jump too far forward in time for me right at the end. I would like to have seen more. So it was alright for what it was. Then I read Scarred by Emily McIntyre on my Kindle. So this is the second in the Never After series. This is based on Scar from The Lion King. He kind of vibes off of Matthew Boss in this one. So this says, she doesn't belong to him, she belongs to the crown. Prince Tristan Fasser was never destined for the throne. That was always his brother Michael. The same brother responsible for both Tristan's tormented childhood and the scar that mars his face. When the father dies, Michael is set to assume the throne, and Tristan is set to steal it. The leaders of a secret rebellion, Tristan will stop at nothing to end his brother's reign. But when Michael's new betrothed, Lady Sarah Beatrue, arrives, Tristan finds himself in the middle of a new kind of war. The kind that begs the question of what's more important. The crown or the woman about to wear it? Sarah has one plan, marry the king and eradicate the Fasser line. And even at the risk of her own peril, she never expects the scarred prince. He's dangerous, forbidden, and one of the men she's been sent to kill. But the line between the hatred and the passion never seems so thin. And as secrets come to light, Sarah grows unsure of whom she can trust. Torn between vengeance and the villain she is never supposed to love. I absolutely adore The Lion King. It's one of my favourite Disney movies, and Scar is one of my favourite villains. I've been obsessed with Scar since I was a kid. I know it sounds a really bizarre thing to say, but I absolutely adore him. This was so dark, it was so sexy, and I've loved every second of this one. It was written to absolute perfection. Fantastic slow burn, forbidden romance, and between Tristan and Sarah, the intensity and the chemistry was amazing. Immaculate settings, I loved it. Then we go back to spooky season with The Exorcist. I watched The Exorcist, I also read it. My copy though, I have to show you this now. My copy is one of the coolest copies in the world. Signed by Linda Blair. I met Linda Blair at For the Love of Horror in Manchester. So yeah, I got my copy of The Exorcist signed by her. So I think we all know what The Exorcist is about, but in case you don't know, it says, the terror begins obtrusively, noises in Regan's room. An odd smell, misplaced furniture, and an icy chill. Easy explanations are offered. Then changes begin to show in the 11-year-old Regan. Severe and frightening, medical tests shed no light on her symptoms, but as if a different personality has invaded the child. Father Damien Carrez, a Jesuit priest. He's a priest. Words. A Jesuit priest is called him. Is it possible that a demonic force is at large? Might an exorcism be the answer? Made into a terrifying film, The Exorcist remains the most famous novel of Satanism and possession written in recent times. This is by William Blatley. This was amazing. I gave this one 4 stars. If you watch the film, the film does not carry as much detail as this does. This gives you more backstory to each character. It's more creepy. It's more chilling. It's perfect for horror fans, and it's perfect for the season. Honestly, I am in love, and I just love that it's signed. I also have the Your Favourite Scary Movie. I have that signed by Roger L. Jackson, who not only narrates the audiobook, he is the voice of Ghostface. That is going to be a Screamcast piece, that one. I can get this to be an Exorcist cast piece if many of them are still living. I don't know who's still alive yet. But I'd love that to happen. Then I read The Prison Doctor by Dr. Amanda Brown. This is her biography, memoir. It's her going around the UK's most infamous prisons, because she's treated inmates in them. So first in a young offenders institution, then in Wormwood Scrubs, and then the Europe's largest women's only prison, Bronzefield. This, I would say, is a very important book, and I do urge people to read this, especially if they're interested in psychology, health, and even criminology. I've done psychology and I've done criminology as a diploma. It shows what life is like in prison, and it just covers so many important topics. I even do biology. It's informative, and it's actually quite heartwarming as well. It's clear she has a lot of compassion towards each and every prisoner she's treated, which is extremely rare in a doctor, especially nowadays, from my experience. It's thoughtfully written with a very novice hand, but it's a lovely book anyway. Then, hang on. Yeah. Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, the big beefy boy. I gave this 5 stars. This is this and Prisoner of Azkaban, my favourite Harry Potter books. I mean, this is equal light and dark. Adult characters are amazing. Compared to the teens, they kind of went slightly backwards in this one. Umbridge, terrible person, perfectly written villain. Sirius, I love Sirius and Lupin. Sirius, great character, tragic death. Oh my god, I love this one. I had to find different areas to put these, because I have a giant snake on my bed now. And then I read a romance called Written in the... Well, I attempted to read a romance called Written in the Stars by Alexandra Bellflower. This was an absolute disaster. So, after a disastrous blind date, Darcy Lowell is desperate to stop her well-meaning brother from playing matchmaker ever again. Love and the inevitable heartbreak is the last thing she wants. So she fibs and says her latest setup was a big success. Darcy doesn't expect her lie to bite her in the ass. Elle Jones, one of the astrologers behind the popular Twitter account All My Stars, dreams of finding her soulmate, but she knows it's most assuredly not Darcy. A no-nonsense stick-it-in-the-mud who is way too analytical, punctual and sceptical for someone who is free-spirited as Elle. When Darcy's brother and Elle's new business partner expresses how happy that he is that they hit it off, Elle is baffled. Was Darcy on the same date? Because awkward. And awkward was this book. I did have this at 41%. The characters are especially irritating. There's no development from any of them. And the story moves way too slow, and it's way too insta-love for my liking. Then I did my 4 a month for the Doctor Who Time Lord Fairy Tales. And I've got these in backwards. So we've got Sir Gawain and the Green Knight, which I gave 4 stars. Jack and the Wormhole, 4 stars. The Gingerbread Trap, 5 stars. And the Twins in the Wood, 5 stars. And these are really good. I've got another 2 months worth of these. I think maybe another 3. Could be another 3 months. I don't know. Then I attempted to read The Lonely City, Adventures in the Art of Being Alone by Olivia Laing. This is for a celebrity one. So I'll read you the synopsis and then I'll tell you a little. You know what I do. When Olivia Laing moved to New York City in her mid-30s, she's found herself inhabiting loneliness on a daily basis. Increasingly fascinated by this shameful experience, she begins to explore the lonely city by way of art. Moving fluidly between the works and lives of some of the city's most compelling artists, Laing conducts an electric, dazzling investigation into what it means to be alone, illuminating not only what causes loneliness, but how it might be redeemed and embraced. I gave this 2 stars and I DNF'd it at 59%. You will find my review in the next celebrity video, which I've got 2.5 books left for that one. So you'll find it there. This was not good. Not good. Then I I actually read this one. Wild and Wrangled by Lila Sage, which is the 4th book in the Rebel Blue Ranch series. That's so hard to say. This is Dusty and Cam's book. I gave this one 3 stars. I read the first one, loved it. Read the second one, didn't like it. Skipped the third one because it was of one character I didn't like. So I thought the 4th one, it's a character I like, tried it, and it completely missed the mark. There was potential. I enjoyed Dusty's character quite a lot in the other ones I've read. Cam, not a romantic partner. Not at all. How do I describe? She was a walking red flag. Just a massive, walking red flag. There was a lack of chemistry between them as adults. But the flashback scenes are what held the potential between the two of them. I am truly disappointed in this book series. Yeah. I only really like the first one, and I suppose that's the way it goes. Then another one. The Most Wonderful Crime of the Year by Ali Carter. This is a Knives Out rom-com twist rivals to lovers' Christmas romance. The phones are down and the most famous mystery writer in the world has just disappeared out of a locked room 3 days before Christmas. We've got Maggie Chase and Ethan Wyatt. Then she's the new queen of cozy mystery and he's Mr. Big Time Thriller guy. She hates him. He thinks her name is Marcy, no matter how many times she's told him otherwise. But they both accept a cryptic invitation to attend a Christmas house party at the English estate of a reclusive fan. Neither expecting the host to be the most powerful author in the world, Eleanor Ashley, the Duchess of Death herself. 3 stars. I was absolutely disappointed with this one. I know a lot of people have loved it. A lot of people loved it last year when it came out. The first half actually set it up to be this really good kind of Agatha Christie style Christmas mystery. And then the romance ruined it. just ruined it. Absolutely ruined it. It was too heavily focused, bordering on absolutely obsessive, and there seems to be a lack of dedication on the actual author side, so Ali Carter herself, to the actual mystery. It's a mystery book. Come on, focus on the mystery. It annoyed me. Anyway, then I ventured back to Harry Potter for Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. I seem to have always been 1 book ahead of when it's been on the TV. So much so this Sunday we're on Deathly Hallows Part 2 and I've read everything. You can see how my life's gone. This one's a 4-star. This is where it is really gotten dark. I love the artwork on this. It's clear they are definitely fighting a war from this point forward. The characters are developing more and more across the actual chapters, not just the book itself. The world has expanded. The magic, though, is still quite palpable in the normal whimsy way it has always been. Flashbacks through the Pensieve are amazing. I love the flashbacks. But yes. Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. Then, I read Hot for Slayer by Ali Hazelwood. I had a really weird reading month. So Hot for Slayer is when a vampire slayer loses all of his memories, the only person who can help him is the vampire he's tried to kill for centuries. That's all I'm going to give you, because this is a novella. I gave this 4 stars. And it was great. It was fantastic. I had a great time. Characters of great depth for a novella. And they're fleshed out really well. Writing's witty, it's snappy, it's everything you actually expect from a vampire slayer romance. Think Buffy. I've never seen Buffy, but think Buffy. I suppose. That's what a lot of people have said anyway. Then, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. The last official Harry Potter book. You'll see what I mean in a minute. 4 stars. It's a great finale. Absolutely great finale. Except, it drags. It does drag. When they're in the Forest of Dean and they're hunting them goddamn Horcruxes, it drags. It drags in the film. I rarely ever rewatch Deathly Hallows Part 1 multiple times a year. 'Cause it drags. But once they get captured by them Snatchers, it picks back up again. Thank God for that. The Battle of Hogwarts is actually the most impactful thing in the world. Because there's such a loss. Even when the good prevails over evil, this story ends the same way it started, with an orphan of war through Teddy Lupin, which people bloody forget. But it does. And I love it. I don't love it that he's an orphan. I just love the way how it ends in such a circular motion. And that's why I said official. Because I did also read Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. I have a love-hate relationship with this book. I gave it 3 stars, but there's so much I can say and there's so much I shouldn't say. It's fan fiction. Essentially. It probably translates well on stage. I've never actually seen it on stage. I'd like to. It's a nice experience. It's great to read. It's nice to see like Scorpius and Albus, them characters, get some attention, and Teddy as well. He does pop up once in this. But Harry, Hermione, Ron, Ginny, their characterizations are so wrong. So wrong. The time jumps are confusing. The use of the time turner is annoying because it's not the same way they use the time turner in the movies / in the 3rd book. I also like the thing where Scorpius says, bread. Nice bread, good bread. What's wrong with bread? That's the one thing I've always remembered from this. But yeah, I have a love-hate relationship with this book. I think I always will. Then the last 2 books I read were on my Kindle. I read Reckless by Elsie Silver. We didn't close off the month very well. That was a 3 star. It's Winter and Theo's story. Winter, very off-putting character. She's creepy. She's very stalker-like. It went on for most of the book. Her insecurities followed her very much through the entire book. She lacked the communication needed to be able to co-parent in the relationship with Theo. It could have been a great romance story if she'd, actually gotten a grip on herself. Theo actually seemed like a really good guy who wanted to step up and parent, and she just lacked that kind of character development. Also, Rhett. I remember Rhett from the last one I read, and him and Summer, and he seems to really have an issue in this book as well, where he's way too overprotective. He's bordering controlling, actually, which I think is a really big issue. And then I read Falling by Christina Lauren. Christina Lauren I've actually discovered is 2 people. I didn't know that. And that was 3 stars as well, so this is a fallen angel story. One darkly seductive immortal's powers of persuasion have worked flawlessly for 9 centuries until he meets one woman who can resist him in a wickedly hot short story, yeah. So, it was okay. Very insta-love. The on-page spice was good and well written. It could have been longer. It was only 56 pages. The other one was longer. Hot for Slayer was longer. I'd like to have seen this the same length as Hot for Slayer. And the aspects of the Fallen Angel lore was interesting. I'd like to read either a full-length novella or a full-length novel for this. But I did enjoy it. That's the thing, I actually enjoyed it. I just want it longer. And less insta-lovey. That's all I want. But yeah, that's all the books I read in October. And I'm currently reading Ballad of a Whiskey Robber for my next celebrity one, so yeah. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you next time. Bye.